Hello, the date today is February the 1st, 2022, and I am the extended fasting fat guy. My name is Dave, and this is my, it never fails when I start one of these videos that one of my animals starts making noise. They've been quiet for like hours, and then the minute I turn the camera on, one of them decides to do something. That banging noise you heard in the background was my dog knocking something over. But I'm not going to do a retake because, what am I, a professional? This is my 15th video chronicling my ongoing weight loss and overall intermittent fasting routine. I've been at it for 3 months now, and it's time for a major update. As I said, the date today is February the 1st, so I have now been doing this routine, the stacked or rotating extended fasts, for exactly 3 months. So please excuse me if you've seen one of my other videos or any of my other videos, but I'm going to do a very quick recap to bring you up to date. On November 1st, 2021, I weighed exactly 403 pounds. I began doing rotating 60-hour fasts or 64-hour fasts for the entire month of November. By November 30th, I weighed less. I had lost 31 pounds. So I weighed, I believe it was 272 at that point. 272. I wish I weighed 272. 372 by November 30th. I upped my fasts for December to 88-hour fasts and did rotating 88-hour fasts for the month of December. I also added a couple of extended fasts. I did one 4.5-day fast, and I did a 5.5-day fast. I did not eat between Christmas night and New Year's Day, so I did a 112-hour fast then, or 113 I think it was, and I lost an additional, here's my cat, right on schedule. Lucy, do you think people really want to see your big fat butt? This whole channel is about people not having a big fat butt. They don't want to see your big fat butt. Every time. She wants to be a YouTube celebrity, I think. So for the month of December, I lost an additional 22 pounds. So by that point, I was down to 350. So I continued with the 3-day fasts for the month of January. I threw in 2 extended fasts, 2 4.5-day fasts, and I just completed the month of January. So I did my weigh-in yesterday on the 31st of January. Yes, I did. Are you very excited about this news? Can you not wait to hear what the weight is? So I weighed myself yesterday. I had set the goal to lose 15 pounds for the month of January 2022. And I'm here to report that I was successful. I lost exactly what I had hoped to lose. I lost exactly 15 pounds on the month of January 2021. So as of yesterday, my weight, which I had said many times was my goal, my weight is now 335 pounds. So to recap, I weighed 403 pounds on October 1st. As of today, February 1st, I weigh 335 pounds for a total weight loss of 68 pounds over the last 3 months. I feel pretty good about that. As I said, that was my goal. And I hit it, and right on the nose. So that's great news. I'm not at all upset about that. There's really 2 ways you can look at this. The first way to look at it is, okay, listen, you lost 30 pounds in 30 days for November, then you only lost 22 pounds in 30 days, or however many days in December, and then you only lost 15 in January. So there's definitely a trend downwards as far as less weight loss over the months that I've been doing this, the 3 months. Or you can look at the fact that, hey, I just lost 68 pounds in 3 months, which is huge. I'm not concerned, and here's why. I'm still morbidly obese. The dictionary or the medical definition of morbid obesity is that you have to weigh between 80 and 100 pounds over your recommended body weight, or using the BMI. Lucy, I don't want to put you on the ground, but I don't want your butt in my face. So you can see my conundrum here. So the bottom line is that for somebody my height, which is basically 5'11", I should weigh 190 pounds. So in order for me to not be classified as morbidly obese and just be classified as fat, I need to weigh 270 pounds, right? So it's true. You seem very interested this week. So that's the bottom line is I was so overweight, or I still am so overweight, that I literally had half my body weight to lose. But when you are morbidly obese and you undergo a radical weight loss routine, it's natural that you are going to lose a lot of weight very quickly at first, and eventually you're going to level off. So I did not expect to keep losing 30 pounds a month. Now I could have if I'd done something crazy, like if I'd, I mean, to me, the people that know me think I'm nuts, like my family and that. They all think I'm crazy, right, doing what I'm doing now. As far as, I only ate, I think 6 days in the month of November, or 8 days, I think, in the month of November, and 6 days in January, and 6 days in December, and 6 days in January, whatever. Not very many days, basically. I have fasted a lot more than I ate. And these people think I'm kind of crazy. But I could have done more. Technically, I could have fasted even longer than the 60s or the 88s. That's possible, I guess. Or I could have, definitely my eating windows are still 12 hours. And I'm not being particularly militant about my eating window. I've discussed that many times, but I'm eating pretty much whatever I want on my refeed days. I'm patterning my routine after Jerome Ortega and his fasting, Finally Fasting channel, where he did the exact same routine. He would do extended fasts with refeeds, but he would eat pretty much whatever he wanted on his refeed. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I know that is something that I need to address, but all right, Lucy, you're about to be evicted from the table. I'm sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I know. And here comes the dog, right on schedule to yell at her. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm doing something busy here. Every time. Chico, please stop. So, I expected a downward trend. It's just not now. You're not going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days unless you basically don't eat anything. Or we've discussed this before at length. I mean, it's technically possible. I could, in theory, I could do just OMAD refeeds, just one quick meal and then go back to the fasting right away. But that, to me, I wanted to build my way up slowly. I'm not doing, I was doing the rotating 60-hour fast for the whole month of November. I knew that I was going to increase the length of my fast, and I'm always tinkering with what my plan is, right? So, I knew that I didn't want to just start right off with doing crazy long. When I started, I didn't think I'd be able to do 72s, right? That was just too much for me. So, I wanted to be realistic, and the eating windows are still something that I need to consider, and I'm definitely gonna make some adjustments now in February. To me, and also I got really hung up on the length of the fasts at first, and I've kind of changed my philosophy on that. I was doing 88s or 82s or 84s or whatever, and the bottom line is that what I had decided in January was that it wasn't, not to get hung up on the number per se. The bottom line is I was either doing 3.5 day fasts or 4.5 day fasts, right? So I would do a 72. The 72 was the minimum. I would never, since November, I've never done less than a 72-hour fast. That's the 72 is the bare minimum that I've done. It's always been 72 or higher for me, right? And that's continued. But I got hung up on the number 88 for a while. It had to be 88, so I'd be ready to eat, but I was waiting the last couple of hours, and then I finally realized, you know what? If I've done a 72 and then another 12 on top of that, I'm just gonna eat. So that's 84 or whatever. Same thing with the 4.5 day fast, right? The first couple times I did those, I was hung up on it being 111 hours. It had to be 111 hours. And then what the hell, man? If I do a full 96-hour fast and then another 12 on top of it, that's 108 hours. I don't really care. Like I said, the bottom line is I never did less than either the 72 or the 96, depending on if I was going for a 3 or a 4 day fast, right? So those are the key numbers. I never did less than 72 on a 3 day fast, and I never did less than 96 on a 4 day fast. So other than that, it's really anything above that was kind of gravy. And I'm sticking to that. I've really been debating what to do for the month of February, and I've come up with a plan. So this is the point where I'm planning on uploading this video to my PC rather than uploading it straight from my phone onto YouTube. So if I'm successful at this point, I'm hoping there will be a graphic on the screen to show my plan for the month of February. If I'm not successful, then I'll just be talking and there will be no graphic. But I have devised my calendar for the month of February, and what I've decided to do is to alternate. So I'm going to do 3.5 day fasts, 1 day refeed, then 4.5 day fasts. So I'm going to do 84, I'm going to eat, then I'm going to do 108, and then I'm going to eat. That will give me a grand total of, I believe, 6 extended fasts for the month of February. The month of February is only 28 days, so I have to be careful not to set my goal too high that I can't reach. If you crunch the numbers, for the month of January, I actually fasted for a grand total of 640 hours. So I fasted 640 hours in January. That's not really possible in February because there's 3 less days, right? So, I mean, I guess it's technically possible, but I can't. I already told you I did that 5.5 day fast between Christmas and New Year's. I think it was 130 something hours, and that almost killed me. I mean, it's technically possible that I could do it, but it's not something that I really have any interest in doing because by the end of that, I felt so crappy. It almost ruined my next fast and all that kind of stuff. So the plan I have come up with is I'm going to rotate the 3.5 and the 4.5 day fasts for the month of February. And if I am able to stick to that schedule, I will be fasting for a total of 600 hours over 28 days. Which is a good number, I think. Like I said, I did 640 for January, and the 40 less hours is just because there's not as many days in February. So what are you going to do? If you crunch the numbers even further, the 15-pound weight loss over the month of January comes down to just about half a pound a day of weight loss. So 0.48 pounds a day. I've done a lot of research on I've read a couple of books, and I've read medical reports online, and you know, of course, I've gone on Reddit and, you know, YouTube videos and stuff. And the general consensus when it comes to the issue of healthy weight loss, pardon me, I have horrible heartburn because yesterday was a refeed day, and genius that I am, I decided to eat buffalo wings, and it has not been it's been rough today. It's my own fault. It's not the smartest thing in the world after not eating for 84 hours to eat buffalo wings, but I wanted them, and plus they're really cheap. They were on sale for like $8.99 and for a box of buffalo wings. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Anyways, so you have to excuse me. I should have brought a drink. I usually have a drink here, and I didn't bring a drink, and I don't want to get up and get one because I don't want to stop the video. Because with an iPhone, it's impossible to pause while you're recording and then come back and pick it up, and I don't want to redo the whole video, so I'll just have to tough it out for the next few minutes and go without water. Anyways, the bottom line is that all the research I did, the general consensus seems to be that healthy weight loss, you can pretty much lose about half a pound to a pound a day, right? And that's what I've been doing, really. Like I said, I basically lost half a pound a day for the month of January. Any less than that, I'm not crazy about that idea. I really don't want to go any lower than that. Now I know that's going to come, right? Because now that I've lost almost 70 pounds, it's going to slow down. But I'd like to keep the bar set at about half a pound a day. So my goal for the month of February is 12 pounds. All right? I would like to lose 12 pounds in February. So my goal for the last week of February, or for the first week of March, about March 1st, is 323 pounds. Anything less than that, then I'm going to be a little bit worried. Now, having said all that, I do realize that your body, and this is something I've really learned. I think after having done this for 3 months and lost almost 70 pounds, I do believe that I'm not an expert by any stretch, but I can certainly speak to my experience. Your body fights back, right? At some point, your body kind of finally figures out, listen, you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to do whatever, your metabolism, and it really it resists what you're doing. So your metabolism will slow down, and your body will fight back in a bunch of different ways. And so I have no doubt that one of the reasons my weight loss has slowed down a little bit is partially just because I don't have as much weight to lose, although I still have a ton to lose. Like, I'm still morbidly obese, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not double my body weight at this point that I should be. And also, like I said, my metabolism has changed and adjusted and stuff. My body's storing up fat and not wanting to give it up as much. I'm not going into ketosis as quickly as I used to. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna, like I said, I can live with 15 pounds, 12 pounds in a month. That's a-okay. But I'm aiming for 323 for the month of February. So there's a couple major things I wanted to talk about then. Number one is, for the month of February, I'm actually going to deviate from my monthly weigh-ins, and I'm scheduled 3 weigh-ins. I've scheduled 3 weigh-ins for the month of February so I can provide updates. Partially that's for me, mostly that's for me, but also I got to be honest with you, I've picked up, I think I'm at like 13, 14 subscribers now to my YouTube channel, which is great because I really wasn't going out of my way to publicize the channel, and I really appreciate that. But I have got a bunch of comments that I want to actually make sure that I do respond to those comments, by the way. I haven't had a chance yet, but I'm going to respond to the nice comments that I've got. But I've also gotten a few emails from people, and I have responded to all the emails. So if you do email me, I'll definitely get back to you. But the bottom line is, there's actually a couple people watching now, and it gets kind of boring for everybody, and myself included, where I do these videos and I really have no new news to report. So I am gonna do weigh-ins periodically throughout the month. I'm not doing them every day, like Cole Robinson suggests. No, I'm not at that point yet, but I've scheduled 3 weigh-ins for the month of February. So my first one will be after my first, right now I'm on an 84, 3.5 day fast. Today's Monday, so I'll be eating again on Friday. And then I'm going into a 4.5 day, 108 hour fast. And when that's over, then I'll weigh in and I'll report back how much I've lost in 2 weeks. So I don't know, I haven't crunched the numbers yet, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'll have a goal weight for that weigh-in and see if we meet it or if we don't. And if we don't, we don't, whatever. I mean, it's all adjustable, right? It's not the end of the world. But if I go any lower than about half a pound a day, then I'm gonna have to make some decisions, right? The second thing that I wanted to discuss is that I wanted to share some goals that I do have with you now, that I am going to be aiming for, and we'll see where we go from there. I mentioned many times in the past that I've done this before, right? When I weighed 385 pounds, I went on ADF, and I did ADF for 4 months. And in that time, I lost a lot of weight, but I hit a plateau at 327. And I couldn't get below. I went like 3 weeks of ADF, and I never got below 327, and that's when I got frustrated and I gave up and I quit, which was ridiculously stupid to do, because then what happened was I ended up going way up above 385 when I gained all the weight back, and I ended up over 400. So I wish I'd never done that, but what are you gonna, like, that's life, right? So don't bother living in the past. But the bottom line is 327 was the kind of weird line that I couldn't get below. I don't know if there's anybody that are baseball fans out there, but there's a thing in baseball called the Mendoza line. I forget what it is, but some guy had the lowest batting average that you could basically have in, he played for the White Sox, I think, and he had like a 184 batting average or whatever, and they used to call it the Mendoza line, because if you hit any lower than that, then basically you're probably going to get fired or sent down to the minors or whatever. So my own personal Mendoza line was 327. I couldn't get below it, and it really pissed me off. And that's what frustrated me, and I quit. So my number one goal, above and beyond anything, is I want to get below 327 in the month of February. At the very least, by the time this month is over, I'm really seriously hoping I have to be below 327, and that will make me feel really good, because I'll have finally broken through that barrier that stopped me the last time I tried this. So getting below 327 is going to be a major accomplishment. My second goal is the big line that I need to get below is 300. A couple of months ago that seemed impossible to me, but now I'm only 35 pounds away from that. 300 is such a huge number for me for 2 reasons. Number one, that will mean that I've lost 100 pounds, which is just I can't even conceive having lost 100 pounds, but it's now within reach. I can see that goal. The other thing is being below 300 pounds was kind of a gateway for a couple of important milestones in my life. I've mentioned many times I'm in need of heart surgery, although all surgeries in the province of Ontario, Canada are on hold right now due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I am on the wait list for a heart surgery, something called an ablation to fix a chronic arrhythmia that I have. And my surgeon said that he really didn't want to do the surgery on me until I was under 300 pounds, which is why he recommended gastric bypass, right? And I said I didn't want to get gastric bypass. So I'm this close now to, I mean, like, this is 35 pounds, so that's not really a small goal, but still. If I go below 300 pounds, then I can call my cardiologist and say, hey, guess what? I want to be put on the list again, or I want you to see what's going on for me getting that heart surgery. Secondly, I have a hernia, which I don't even know if I've ever mentioned, but I do. It's embarrassing to admit, but I was so fat that I didn't even realize I did have a hernia because my girth was so huge. But one day I was rubbing my belly or something, and I found a really, like, a rock hard spot on my gut, and I knew it wasn't my ab muscles, so I was pretty freaked out, and I kept poking it, and it felt like I had a softball under my skin or whatever. So I went to my doctor, and he's like, well, you got a hernia. So I don't know if you know what a hernia is, but it's not good. It's a piece of your abdominal wall, your muscle that's basically broken through and is sticking out. So I saw a surgeon, and he said the exact same thing. I don't want to fix this until you're under 300 pounds. And at that point, I was like 380 or whatever. So he also said, well, why don't you get a gastric bypass, and then you can get your hernia repaired, right? So not only do I want to check into my heart surgery, but also I want to check into getting this hernia repaired. And if I get below 300 pounds, then I can do that. So I want to get to 300 pounds because it will mean I've lost 100 pounds. I want to get to 300 pounds because it means that I can get my heart surgery and my hernia repair. And the date that I've set for that goal is May 1st. So today's February 1st. I'm giving myself March and April, so another 2 months to go from 335 to 300. It's doable. It's a stretch. All right, that would mean that I'd have to lose 12 pounds in February, and then so I'd be 323 as of March 1st, and then I would have to lose a hell of a lot of weight in April. I'd have to lose like 23 pounds in April. So I don't know if it's doable, but it's a goal I'm setting, is to be 300 pounds by May 1st. So if I am, great. If not, and I have to switch it to like May 15th or whatever, that's fine. But it's a goal. Then after I hit 300 pounds, assuming that I do, hoping that I do, planning on doing it, the next goal would be 270 pounds. The reason for that is, as I said, if I manage to get to 270 pounds, that will classify me medically as no longer morbidly obese. It will just classify me as a fat guy. And that will put me only like 70, 80 pounds away from my goal, right? So I'm not setting a date for that goal. We'll see if I meet my first two goals. My first goal is to get below 327, to cross that barrier that I could not cross before, that I'm this close to now. And then the next goal is 300 pounds. And then after that, my goal is to get to 270. Realistically, they say this process takes about a year, right? Like Cole Robinson's big thing was, if you eat big and fast long, like if you do rotating 72-hour fasts, you could lose all the weight you're going to want to lose in a year. And I'm 3 months in now, so I'm a quarter of the way there, and I've already lost 68. So my goal would be definitely that by November 1st, 2022, I'm in the 190 to 200 pound range, and that's still so far away I can't even imagine it. I can't conceive of it. Like realistically speaking, I'd like to get there sooner, but I think hopefully, and I remember, like I said, one of my role models in this whole journey has been Jerome Ortega, and I know like the last few months for him were like hell getting to where he wanted to go. His weight loss slowed down so badly. Like he was still doing like rotating 96-hour fasts, and he was only losing like very little weight every month, but he was losing it, which is why the frequent weigh-ins become a little bit more necessary at that point, right? But who knows? We'll see. The other X factor, which I have discussed in the past, and I'll close with this, is that I know that in addition to cleaning up my eating on my feed days, my refeed days, I also need to consider introducing a higher amount of exercise. Right now, we have some problems here. We are in the middle of a brutal cold snap where the weather has, today it's actually pretty nice, but up in like the month of January was just brutal. We got a ton of snow, like a ton of snow in January. We broke some records for snowfall, and breaking snowfall records in Toronto is impressive. And the other thing, it's been crazy cold, like just nuts. So outdoor, like walking and stuff, has been a challenge. The gyms have been closed up until today, actually. As of today, February 1st, the government has given permission to reopen the gyms at 50% capacity. So I am strongly considering signing up for a gym membership, although I'm still really debating, because I realize that that will be the best for me health-wise, but I also know that when you put on muscle, muscle weighs much more than fat. And I'm not sure about trying to build muscle and work out when I'm at the same time trying to get radical weight loss happening, right? So I'm not sure what the balance is there. I know if I start working out, like I've done some research and I found some pretty decent workout programs that I think would really help me in the long run, but I don't know about when I could introduce those or when I should introduce those, or should I wait until I hit the 270 goal where I'm no longer morbidly obese and then start focusing on the working out, because the muscle building and stuff, whatever. Don't know. The other problem is I've mentioned my myriad of health problems. I have a heart condition, I have a hernia, I have sleep apnea, but one of the other problems I have is arthritis. Now, part of that has nothing to do with my weight. It's just genetic. Arthritis runs in my family. I have an aunt who had arthritis so badly that she was in her 40s and she was confined to a wheelchair from the pain of her arthritis. My father has terrible arthritis, and it's just a condition that my family suffers from. Fasting, especially the autophagy effect, has done tremendous amount for my arthritis. My arthritis has really improved greatly thanks to this. But I have been having a lot of problems with arthritis in my feet. And this past week has been a real problem. I woke up in the morning and both of my feet have been aching to the point where it's agonizing to even put any weight on them. I'm still getting my hour exercise a day. I walk my dog half an hour twice a day at a really good clip, which is better than, because when I started this process, I wasn't really walking him at all. I was too fat and I was too out of shape, and now I am. But in addition to it being like a frickin' ice box out there, freezing cold and wind and snow and stuff, the bigger issue is that my arthritis is really bothering me the last few days, to the point where I have to load up on painkillers in order to do my walk, because it hurts so much to put weight on my feet. My right foot, the heel is all swollen and painful. When I put weight on my heel, and my left foot, my instep is just really bad. So I don't know if it's like I have lousy shoes, because I do have lousy shoes, or if it's arthritis. I've had this problem before, and I've just kind of toughed it out, and it's gone away after a week or two. The swelling has gone down, so I'm hoping that's what happens. But I can't really make any big commitments to my ongoing exercise routines when I can't walk. And right now, like literally for me to get up and walk over to the other side of the room, I'm staggering, because it just hurts so much to put weight on my feet right now. One of the reasons I started this process was because I had that compressed sciatic nerve in my back, and that's gone. That's totally gone. And I do have degenerative arthritis in my left hip. I've been told I need a hip replacement, or will need a hip replacement because of the arthritis, but I've been putting that off, and I can't even tell you how much the fasting and the autophagy has fixed that problem. My hip barely bothers me now. So I don't mean to sound like I'm infirm, but it's a little disheartening to have a setback like this where your arthritis flares up. But I think that might have something to do with this weather, like this weather we're having, where it's just constantly freezing and all this stuff, and then when it does get warmer, it gets damp and stuff. So I don't know, but anyways. So the exercise part of this becomes a question that I can't answer at this point. But the headline news is that yes, the results are in, and I lost 15 pounds. I met my goal for January, and I now weigh 335 pounds. And we are starting a new month, and I'll be doing a weigh-in next week, at which point I hope I weigh at least a few pounds less, so that I can hit that 327, which is my next goal. And we're shooting for 12 pounds for the month of February. 600 hours of fasting for February is the plan, and that's it. I want to say thank you again to everybody that's left me comments. I will get back to you, and please feel free to send me an email if you want. I will, more than happy to chat back and forth on email. Like I said, I'm at the point now where I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I can certainly share my experience after 3 months of fasting and losing almost 70 pounds. I do feel I know a little bit, and I can share what I've learned. So I'm still just doing these videos mostly for me, though, just to keep myself accountable and for as a kind of journal, an ongoing journal to chronicle my weight loss and my health journey. But it's all part of the process. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching, and I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy out there. And we will talk to you very soon.